Today, I'm here with Sara. The topic of today's podcast is passion for health and fitness is not enough. You need to develop marketing and sales skills to be successful over a decade. Sara, who are you? Tell us more about you.
Who am I? I am a mother. I am a very passionate business owner. I'm a manifestation speaker and coach. I study human behavior. I study neuroplasticity.
Most studio owners that we know are owner-operators, meaning that they run 70% of the sessions. I'd love to understand your journey between opening up a gym to building it to a point where you can step away and pursue other passions.
I mean, look, it took me a long time because I did own a gym before this one. I was 5 years of owning another gym in Lake Macquarie. And then when I moved to Sydney.
For the audience at home, if you're an affiliate, you can have the word CrossFit in your name.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
A lot of gym owners that we work with think your F45s, your BFTs, your Fitstop. The members, they grow out of the gyms. They get fit, they lose weight, and their training plateaus.
I think you really need to, if you're going through a really tough time in your business, you need to just really take a step back and just regulate your nervous system first, because you're never going to have a right answer if you've got an unregulated nervous system.
Question,
Yeah.
do you have more people who use that who are members? Or
It's
aren't
actually
members?
funny.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm here with Sara. The topic of today's podcast is passion for health and fitness is not enough. You need to develop marketing and sales skills to be successful over a decade. The nasty lawsuits that gym owners go through that the public never find out about, the importance of adding recovery in as it's super on trend, and the importance of building a personal brand and potentially adding an online component to your business. Sara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So we
I'm
found
excited
out-
for this
so,
one.
So we found
Yeah,
out that
me too.
We found out we all grew up on the Central Coast.
Yes.
I was
Coast.
Batter Bay, Shelley Beach,
Wyong.
Spent lots of nights at the beachcomber that was extremely violent, now closed down due to...
Oh, is it
Surprising.
closed down?
I think it was
No,
like-
it's gotten fancy now.
I
Like,
think-
it's nice now.
I think
I mean, I don't know if the demographic inside
Maybe
would be
not.
fancy.
I think
but-
back in the day, it was like stabbings per capita. It was up there.
I think it was rated like top 10 worst, almost violent clubs.
Did you go to Woodport?
Boys, do you remember when the beachcomber was pumping and it was just
Friday night.
We loved it.
Yeah, I
It was the
loved
best.
it.
Remember phone parties?
Yes.
They were disgusting.
Disgusting
And more
and fun.
importantly, when
You'd
we
come home with pink eye.
yeah, and when we were single and ready to mingle, traffic light parties, red, orange, green.
All the classics. We're showing our
So-
age. I don't think
I
that they
know.
do that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
I kind of
banned-
miss it.
I
a
got
little
banned from
bit,
beachcomber for
the
3
fun.
months. I got kicked out, unfortunately, too drunk. I tried to jump back in over the fence.
Yeah.
They caught me. They always caught me.
Probably wasn't a bad thing.
Oh
3-month
yeah,
hiatus.
gosh, I remember that
Yeah.
far out. These are
Yes.
great memories.
So you're a gym owner
Yes.
and you're an online coach. And you're
Yes.
currently building a personal brand.
yes,
And
I've
you're
had that going
passionate
for a few
about
years.
mindset and manifestation.
Manifestation. He's
Cool.
been a little tongue-tied, hasn't he?
All right, Sara, who are you? Tell us more about you.
Who am I? I am a mother. I am a very passionate business owner. I'm a manifestation speaker and coach. I study human behavior. I study neuroplasticity. And, I'm a health and I'm a fitness coach. I'm a health and a fitness coach, and I'm super passionate about it, and I still love it. Love it so much.
Excuse my ignorance, but what is neuroplasticity?
Well, it's about the rewiring of the brain, which I know that you boys
So
are going
is
to
that
be
NLP?
getting into that. No, because you need to rewire your subconscious to be able to manifest, and it's how you actually do the rewiring.
Before we get into the juicy part, I want
Yes.
to talk about the gym.
Yeah.
So you've had a gym for 10 years in Sydney called Total Conditioning,
Yes.
and really happy to say that you have it effectively under management, where you have a great team in place.
Yeah.
Most studio owners that we know are owner-operators, meaning that they run 70% of the sessions. I'd love to understand your journey between opening up a gym to building it to a point where you can step away and pursue other passions.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, look, it took me a long time because I did own a gym before this one. And so when I was 5 years of owning another gym in Lake Macquarie, and then when I moved to Sydney, I started this one, and I made some bad moves. And I guess that's how we learn, right? As a business owner, we learn by making mistakes. And So it took about, the gym in Lake Macquarie, I started that one as well. And it took maybe like 2 years maximum to kind of get the feet off the ground.
For context for the audience, when did you open up the one in Lake Macquarie?
2011.
That was a CrossFit gym?
Yeah, I must have been around 27.
I would love to delve into that because you must have been one of the first ever CrossFits in Australia.
Yeah. Yep.
And talk to us about the
I remember it was
explosion of
like,
CrossFit.
I knew we were going to talk about CrossFit and I was really excited about it because I've only just stopped becoming an affiliate owner. Maybe it was the beginning of 2025.
When they hiked up the fees.
Yeah, it got to 8K and I just was like, you know what? I'm not really loving you guys anyway. Haven't been loving you for a long time. But I was one of the originals. I'd been an affiliate owner for 15 years. And, what really kind of grind my gears was the 8K, yearly fee just to use their name. Really just to run the open because that's the only really thing, that was fun. And also they were saying they were really pushing it on me that had to be, my level 1 had expired years ago. You have to be level 1 and then you've also got to be level 2. So there's another like few K, but it wasn't really about the money for me. It was more my time investing in doing these courses and they wanted me to do these courses to become qualified when I don't even coach CrossFit.
Yeah. So just for the audience at home, if you're an affiliate, you can have the word CrossFit in your name.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
You have to do certain courses to be CrossFit qualified as opposed to Cert 3 and Cert 4.
Used to be a CrossFit L1. You need to have an L1 to be an owner.
Now L2
as well. L1 and your L2. And because it's a licensing fee, a licensing business, that's where you pay effectively to be able to use CrossFit.
Yeah.
But I referenced it before. I think, whenever that was, start of 2025 or end of 24, they increased it from whatever it used to be, probably like half or a third of what you were paying, I think.
Well, it's an interesting thing too, right? Because unfortunately they had that person die at the games, which was terrible when they drowned.
Yeah.
And a year before that, the ex-founder,
the old
CEO got into some really big trouble. I think
he
may have
he said some
nasty
mess.
things.
It was a mess.
Yeah.
CrossFit became a mess. But it was just the money behind it. It was like, it made no sense. And they brought in area managers and I was like, oh, this is okay. I mean, you kind of didn't need them anyway. I'm very old school. So you didn't really need these area managers, but they were like, okay, so you got to have your level 1 and level 2. And I used to say to this area manager, I'd be like, why? Like, I don't even coach CrossFit. It's taking my time away from spending it on my business and growing my business. You want me to have these certifications? I don't even coach classes. Like I might step in every now and again if they need me, but and they were like pushed it. And I just was like, this just is not sitting well with me. And I don't love CrossFit like I used to.
It's also interesting too, because like people think it was F45. CrossFit were the real company that started group fitness. And CrossFit has gone down and High Rocks has gone up.
Yeah, but High Rocks is a fad. Come on,
you think?
100%. Everything's a fad.
Let's talk about that.
Everything's a fad.
I don't think CrossFit's a fad.
No, we weren't a fad at
That's
all.
What I mean.
I still say we, by the way, because I feel like I was in it, I grew with it, and I think it's dead now. I think CrossFit's dead now.
We watch the games. My wife does CrossFit. We love CrossFit, and I actually love working with CrossFit gym owners because they have amazing on-ramp sessions, they have amazing programming, and they typically retain people for a long period of time.
I think the difference with High Rocks, my opinion, is it's a set workout.
Yeah.
There's no variability, whereas the whole thing...
People are going to get bored.
It's
like F45.
Can you please enlighten me about what the High Rocks, what it is?
It's a kilometre run followed by a station, and there's 8 different stations.
Does that change?
No, same every time. So I don't know the order,
but it's like it's like wasn't there like the 45 stations or something?
Sled push, wall balls, burpees, lunges, missing something. But then, so you run, then you do that, and you do that.
Yeah,
so
and I've heard it's a huge, it's like really running, like the best runners win effectively.
Yeah, but of
course,
and it's good in the sense that you can test yourself against like people, the countries, or you get your worldwide ranking, and you can have like a world record and age records and things. But my thought. I am inclined to agree with you a bit because it's just the same. It's a fad. People will do it. They'll do the thing and then they'll probably move on.
Is it too big to fail?
But there's nothing wrong with it being a fad, and there's nothing wrong with saying this is a fad, but it's definitely just a fad.
I guess
it's functional fitness. Everyone can do it.
I think that's part of their unique. Because they're going against CrossFit a lot, where it's like, okay, CrossFit, you're doing all this crazy stuff, like handstand walking and muscle ups, all the things where you can hurt yourself.
But that's why we love CrossFit, because you're constantly evolving. And as humans, we want to constantly grow and evolve.
Going back to our love of CrossFit gyms in particular, like a lot of gym owners that we work with think your F45s, your BFTs are fit stops. The members, like, they grow out of the gyms. They get fit, they lose weight, and their training plateaus. And then they look for an SNGC gym or look for a CrossFit gym. And CrossFit gyms truly have like unlimited progression, which I think is really great.
And with High Rocks, I think there's unlimited progression as well, but it's just the same. It's the same stuff. And I think
people are going to get bored.
Yeah.
But they will need to evolve it. And then I think that they will.
They probably will. Because
There's so many funny memes at the moment.
But then F45, if F45 had evolved and, you know, they would still be here, but they didn't evolve.
Back here. I agree. F45s didn't evolve.
Of course they didn't evolve. Everyone had started there and it was a great beginning because it was when fitness was really just kind of becoming popular and people were like, oh, what's this thing that makes me feel great? And F45 stayed the same and people, you know, were ready for something new and they didn't change.
Say what you want about CrossFit now, but I think the company that is CrossFit is amazing in the sense that it has your L1s and your L2s. So you've got progression from the coaches. And then for the members that come in, you cannot master CrossFit. You cannot beat it. You cannot, because there's so many different movements to learn and there's so many things to nail.
Because we didn't change our programming. So in my gym, we have 2 signature programs. We've got performance, which was CrossFit. We did not change our thing. So it's completely the CrossFit programming that we've been doing for a decade.
Use the word CrossFit.
Yeah, we call it performance, which actually I like better, to be honest.
Yep.
And then we have another signature program called Sweat, and that's more functional fitness, and that is High Rocks. So when I put High Rocks on our timetable, and then say sometimes I'll take it off, and then people call and they're like, do you do High Rocks? I'm like, yeah. I don't even say no. I say yep, and I put them straight into the Sweat programming because it's the same thing. It's running, wall balls, push-ups, burpees. It's functional fitness. High Rocks are just like, they've made it fun. Yeah. And that's what fitness is really meant to be.
If we can criticize CrossFit for one thing, and we do it with all of our CrossFit gym owners, probably 30, is that accurate? 30-ish we work with at the moment, CrossFits in particular.
Yeah, it's a fair few.
Yeah, and the one thing that we always preach is like, hey, people are shitting themselves. Let's lower the barrier to entry to start. And one of our most successful campaigns offers ever is a 6-week beginner to CrossFit. Have you had 3 months of training? Do you feel like you're starting from scratch? Have you always wanted to try CrossFit but don't know where to start? Great copy, mate. This program may be for you. And I think when people try CrossFit and most things, they just fall in love with it. So like, I'm a massive, I love CrossFit. I think
they've got an amazing.
Me too. I still love it.
I got a beautiful 10-month-old daughter called Olivia. She's stunning. My wife's back doing CrossFit and she moves so well due to what CrossFit does.
It's got a great onboarding process where you can take someone from not ever have done anything to be competent in your 9 essential movements and into workouts, whereas I think a lot of other modalities fall down where they get chucked into classes and they don't really know what
I never did the on-ramp. You know, and I had 2 very successful and still have a very successful gym, and we never did the on-ramp. I tried it and I didn't like it. Straight into classes. If someone was raw and has no body awareness, they would have to start into Sweat.
Yep.
But if they have a bit of a baseline, they know how to push, pull, all those types of basic things, squat, they are okay to go into the performance or into the CrossFit. But if they then, we got them in there and they're like, oh my God, what is going on? We put them back into Sweat. But I found that on-ramping didn't really work as much. We kind of just stuck them straight into the classes and the coach, we knew that, hey, there's a newbie coming in. And
what we found is difficult is sometimes they're on-ramps 8 p.m. Friday and we're telling people into studios, I'm like, they're not going to come at 8 p.m. on Friday.
Yes.
I think if they are very much beginners, they need something lower, but if you've done a bit of training, you can squat a bit, you can push a bit, you've done a bit, you're probably easily trainable. But the coaching, we've never come across any other industry, any other type of fitness that has better coaching because of the L1 and the L2, and there's a lot of emphasis put on it compared to some of the other brands.
I am loving this chat, by the way. High Rocks is the fad. F45 didn't evolve. What?
We still love CrossFit.
No lies told you.
Yeah.
No, so can I tell you what CrossFit did though? This is just my thoughts. So the new owner came on board, and because he's a businessman, he systemized the crap out of everything. He created way too many systems. L2, let's make money from this, let's make money from that, let's do this, in all these different ways, which is a businessman. But it took away CrossFit. CrossFit just used to be like a great place for people to get their ass handed to them, to evolve, to have fun, and it's about community. And yet we pay a fee. And it was just, that's it. You didn't need to think about anything else. This new man came in and he was just like systemized way too much. And it just was like, hold on a second. This isn't feeling like CrossFit anymore. This is just feeling like a business.
I don't know if they ever like came out and said this, but they had like 15,000 affiliates in the world at one point.
What is it now? I'd love to know.
Not even, but they were doing
ChatGPT
they were doing a detox. So they increased the fees knowing that they were going to get like a bunch of people that were going to opt out because they felt as though there was all these shitty gyms.
You reckon?
Well, F45 did the same thing. They increased their fees recently, and we've had heaps of studios.
Is F45 still around?
Yeah, it's still really popular.
Oh my God, we don't have any. We don't have any in the West.
There's a lot that have shut down.
In the West, I don't even know. I think they're
CrossFit and F45 and the new owner coming in and like changing things and like increasing the fees to effectively get people to opt out. I think F45's biggest mistake was not vetting the franchisees enough, where any old person could come in and open a studio. They're looking at McDonald's, Hungry Jack's, Subway. You know what? I'll buy an F45. When you
they let in
need
anyone
to
who
be
can
a
afford it,
passionate owner
really.
operator. We have an F45 client still in on the Gold Coast, and they have 300 members. So an F45 with a killer owner operator still does well. CrossFit with a killer owner operator still does well. So they all work.
Agree.
But I think F45 opened up too many studios too close. They were cannibalizing each other. And we often talk about this. Like if we enroll a new client, like, oh, Mitch, that they might be a little bit challenging, but hey, like it's just a month or two versus it's almost a fucking marriage. 5-year franchise agreement to pick up that phone to deal with someone who could be painful.
Well, they had 550 in Australia.
F45?
What have they got now?
I don't know.
I could
as soon as we finish this potty, I'll pull it up.
I don't know if it's public knowledge,
so
but it'll be a lot.
I could be wrong, but F45 is pumping in the States still.
Yeah.
Like they are opening rapidly.
Wow.
Pumping.
And have they kept the module the same?
Well, Australia's behind in almost everything except fitness. So like
it started in Bondi.
Yeah, of course. It was Bondi.
Bondi.
Yeah. But Australia was ahead of the curve on functional training. It's also ahead of the curve on Pilates. So like we actually lead the world in fitness, which is really interesting.
I think Pilates is a fad too.
Let's talk about that.
How much time do we have?
Okay, so my opinion on Pilates, I'll look down the camera and say this. In 2012, CrossFit opened. The world's worst operators would have had successful gyms because you were a product of your time and a product of your excitement. The exact same thing happened in 2015 with F45. It happened with me and you with our studios. The exact same thing's happening now to the F45 clones that added barbells that think it will make a difference. And the exact same thing now is happening to Pilates studio owners where just being open isn't enough. And maybe you were the only studio in town and now there's 50.
I'm sorry, it's tough now. I mean, I'm not, I'm a manifestation coach, everything's supposed to be love and light and only think positive, but I'm like, no, let's get real. Like business, it's hard to have a business these days. You really need to be switched on in every single, department of your business. Marketing, sales, coaching, programming, community, fun. You have to really have your fingers in all the pies and it all going at once.
Alex Lamosi talks about click to close.
Oh God, I love them.
And that would be think about like branding to lead generation, to lead follow-up, to sales, to onboarding, to retention, to community, to operations, to your money model, to your pricing.
Yeah.
And sometimes there can just be one missing link in that chain that can really affect your business. And that is the power of mentorship for someone to come in like, hey, you haven't got a lead problem. Call the leads.
Most businesses do like some of those things really well. And it's not that they think they might have an issue with A, and A is just fine, but it's B over here that needs help. But if you don't have B, then it can be enough for you to not be keeping up.
You really I love, and you boys might be the same. So many people go, I've always wanted to own a gym. I've always wanted to own a gym. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, they do not realize how much work. Because look, I can't tell you about other businesses, but I can tell you about a gym. You have to have great energy inside the gym. So the dynamic of the inside the gym, you've got to walk inside, the music, the atmosphere, everything like that. You've got to have like 10 out of 10 programming. Okay, always. You've got to have 10 out of 10 coaches. And then, you need to be on top of sales and marketing, things like that. But there's so many different things that you need to be on top of when it comes to a gym.
At the end of the day, fitness is a commodity.
Yeah.
and you need to be the best in town. Like, why do you exist?
Yes.
Why are you open? Why would someone choose you? Why would your staff work for you?
Yeah.
You need to have that mission, vision, values, and then execute. Because while owning a gym is a tough business, if you do it right, it can be the most rewarding thing that you ever fucking do.
Yeah.
And
So that's what it is
And
for
that's
me.
why we fucking do it. I love fitness. I love it. It's my number one passion.
And so much has changed since when you would have started in 2011.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
would have seen it all. But 15 years ago, there is so much more competition now. More CrossFit, more other options like CrossFit.
I feel for people. I really
Pilates,
do.
boxing.
That are opening up studios now. I'm like, I wish you all the best, because even if they, I've had 2 studios just open up around the corner, and I wish them all the best, because, and it's, even though you're around the corner and you potentially could take some of my clients, and maybe a couple have left. But I know I'm rock solid in what I do, and I've been doing it for such a long time that even if shit did go south, I'd figure out how to go back north. But I just think to them now, oh my gosh, I wish you all the best in today's market, because it's tough.
I want to send an inspiring message to gym owners. So when we owned our gyms in Newcastle, we used to always talk about like, hey, if we're going through a challenging period, it means that others are too.
Of course.
I think the gyms are in a battle of attrition. I think a lot of gyms are going to start closing down. It's really sad.
I think
because
every business,
they
though, it's not
signed
just
that
gyms,
5-year lease around the pandemic, and those 5-year leases are coming due. So just hang on, get better, be the sole survivor in your town, and have that amazing community that you always wanted.
I think you really need to, if you're going through a really tough time in your business, you need to just really take a step back and just regulate your nervous system first, because you're never going to have a right answer if you've got an unregulated nervous system. So if you're super stressed and things like that, you're not going to come up with the right decision. So regulate your nervous system, but also sit back and go, is this something that I want to be doing for the next few years? Am I still really passionate about it?
Yeah. And when you say regulate your nervous system, I'm going to translate that to don't always be reactive, because it's very hard to plan if you're always reacting to that cancellation email or the freeze email.
Yeah.
Or I'll always forget, Mitch had a really busy afternoon with his newborn son. Trainer's like, the fan isn't working. He's like, have you turned the PowerPoint on? He's like, yep. I'm like, all right, I'll go to Bunnings and get a ladder. And you would have been reacting like a motherfucker that day.
My team wouldn't even dare. I would have cracked it. I'm like,
I can't remember.
I had a staff member last week go, so what's going on with this shift that I asked to get covered next week? I'm like, since when do I cover your shifts? Like,
I remember
work
you
with
called me like,
predominantly
Jamie,
men.
there's fucking Bunnings and ladder. And
It must have been so traumatizing for me. I've completely forgotten about it. So I was, maybe not.
But,
thinking clearly.
I believe if you're having a small business, which that's what we all have, a small business, you need to be the face of it. So even though I'm not working in there and I'm not coaching the 60 classes, I still go in every single day and train. Not every day, I don't train, otherwise I'll die. But I still go in there, 4 or 5 days a week and train, and then I'll hang out and do, I'll hang out for a few hours. You still need to be the face of it.
100%.
People need to see that the leader is leading and they still love it. It's very important. Yeah. It's like when you go to the local fruit store. We've got these fruitologists in my area, and I love when I go there.
I imagine it's a fruit shop.
It's a fruit shop, but they do like smoothies and shakes.
Did you make that word up?
No.
It might be a Sydney
But
thing.
if I go in there, so the owner's name's Danny, and I love it when I see him. I'm like, hey, Danny.
Yeah.
Because he's the face, and he's not there all the time anymore because they're about 10 years old as well.
We had Andrew Sims on the podcast, owner of Vision, one of my favorite episodes
Oh, yeah,
ever.
Vision.
He's a great guy. And the one thing he drove home was like, hey, like if you're tossing up franchises, don't buy a Vision, because you got to fucking be in there. You got to be fist pumping.
I'm sorry, you've got to be in there at first anyway.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I started with total conditioning, I was up every morning at 3:30. People just see the me living my best life now. And I'm like, no. I really had to put in the hours and the blood, sweat and tears. I was up at 3:30 every single morning, in the gym by just after 4, and I literally just stayed all day. Yeah. Until about 6, 7 at night. I mean, we have classes until 8 p.m. at night, but I was there all day and I didn't go home during the day. I used to just stay and just do, the marketing, the sales and things like that. But I did that for years and years. I remember when I had my son, I went back to work. I took 1 month off and I was still doing wages and doing emails and, all the back end stuff. But I was physically back coaching classes after 4 weeks of having a baby.
It's really important to share. You go, mate.
You brought it up earlier with like F45 maybe weren't as selective as they could have been with the franchisees they had on. And I think if you're getting into owning a gym for the wrong reasons, you're just not going to last. If you're wanting to if you're wanting to be an investor like from the get-go, or you want
group fitness, you need to love it.
It's Steve Jobs. You have to love what you do, otherwise you'll never get through the hard times.
And the aim, obviously, a lot of people's aim is to get to the point where they're not really actively involved in the day-to-day, but that takes a long time.
I love that you shared that story about the hardship, because people look at this podcast and think, oh, Jay and Mitch are doing well. Yeah, but we own gyms for 9 years and we've been in business for 10 years and we ate lots of shit. I promise you.
Listen, I still eat shit. Every day.
We had never eaten more shit in our life than October 2021, when we were doing one-on-one PT sessions outside in the rain, 20 minutes getting fucking road bikes and rollers out and skis out of our utes back and forth for months on end. Like you have to love it. You really do.
And if you don't get in it for the right reasons, you said it before, like if you don't have that passion, and I think passion's a bit of like, it can be it gets thrown around a lot, but if you're getting into it for like the wrong reasons and you're just wanting to like make money and not be there and be an investor, I don't really know anyone who's successfully been able to do that.
No, not with group fitness. I'm sorry.
No.
It could be like an Anytime or something.
Yeah,
that's totally
obviously.
fine. That runs without the community and the vibe and the fun and all that.
And they also
But
buy
group
the commercial
fitness.
buildings. They're playing a very different game than like, hey, I want 100 members to pay me 50 to cover my bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do go to group training places.
So
because
speaking
of
of-
the coaches and
Of course.
and the owners leading
And the
that.
culture.
Speaking of hardship, I'd love to get into your lawsuit.
Oh,
Because
yes. This is
I
good.
read it and it scarred me. And we had a couple of issues with our landlords.
Nothing like that though.
Yeah, I hear this.
I'm so proud of myself, to be honest. When I think about what I went through, I'm like, oh, good.
So like we spoke to a UBX owner recently, and there was a noise complaint in their building, and they had to turn the music off and couldn't run sessions, and all their members
I did
cancelled.
that for
So
years.
gym owners get fucked left, right, and center from
course.
landlords, and you said, "Nah, not today." What happened?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I was kind of dealing with that for years anyway, because I was the first one in the building. I mean, there's somebody below me, but I was there before my landlords. They bought the building maybe like 2 years afterwards. And from the get-go, so this must have been maybe around 2016. Yeah, 2016. So they tried to get rid of me in 2016. And I got a lawyer, and the lawyer, we kind of like, it was, even though it was really stressful back then and I was much younger and inexperienced, it was still a very scary experience. So I
And
kind of
why
went,
did they want you out?
because of the noise,
Okay.
because we're on water. I mean, it's a great space. We're like 400 square meters
Sell
on
it,
water.
Sarah.
So, but we make a lot of noise. We don't dump, but we still, it echoes up, and they're a high-end function center.
Yep.
So they tried to get me out in 2016, ended up getting over that. And then, so it's always been, okay, we'll work together. You know, you've got 10 years on your lease at a 10 by 10. We'll work with you, but just, you know, pretty much shut the fuck up. Just try and be as quiet as you can. So often we would get, they would come downstairs, go, you're being too noisy. And I'd be like, and then sometimes their lawyer would send an email and be like, but I kind of just got used to that. And then it was coming close to the end of the 10 years, and I got my lawyer, and we executed our right. We were going to take the next lot of 10, and they didn't realize that I was going to be doing that. They thought I was going.
They thought little old Sarah was out in her ass.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Well, they didn't realize that I knew how to 10 by 10, number one. And number two, they were sending me different sites to go and have a look at all that previous year. What about this site up here? What about this site? And in my head, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm happy with this
Yeah.
one.
So anyway, fantastic. Oh my God, my lawyer, he's the best. So we executed our right to stay by the 10, and then the fight began. So it was an 18-month litigation. And when it began, it's like COVID. When it started, you never would have thought this is going to go for 2 years or even longer, really. It started, and never in a million years did I think I'm going to be spending nearly 170K.
Crazy.
I need more context, Sarah. What were some of the dirty tactics they were using to throw your ass on the street?
They were just doing scare tactics, like, we're going to get her out, and you guys have done the wrong thing, and you haven't executed your right, you haven't executed it correctly. And they were just like, the noise, and just, there was such a shit you know, when you meet someone, you're like, just such a shit human. That their lawyer is such a shit human being.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, how do you sleep at night? Like, honestly, how do you sleep at
So
night?
you were clearly in the right, and they were trying to find a loophole, technicality.
Yeah, and they were holding strong. And I'd gone from these my landlords. They're two men. They're two older Italian men.
Our first landlord was an old Greek man. Horrible.
But at first it was like, hey, you know, Sarah, hey, you know, how are you? And da-da-da-da-da, and have a great day. And then once this started, I wouldn't even get a hello. And
nasty.
Yeah. And even though on the inside I was like stressed and worried and fear and, you know, overwhelmed and all this kind of stuff, I still was like, hello, how are you? You know, if I saw them in the car park, hello, how are you going?
Why are you gritting your teeth? Hello.
Yeah, in my head I was like, so they really tried to get it, and I stayed in the fight. And so many times then we had to get a barrister because we knew we were going to court. And my barrister said to me, another fantastic, if anybody's going through this, you know, reach out and I'll give you my details.
I hope no one is.
But you know what, it's life. It's, you know.
So just to confirm, like, when you stood up for yourself and you spent $170,000, did you get that money back when you won?
Gosh, no. No.
So this was an out-of-pocket expense?
Yep.
To say, fuck you?
Yep.
I'm not going anywhere?
Yep. Pretty much like.
That's the hook for the podcast, by the way.
Yeah. Like my savings, see you later, you know.
Wow.
You know, because.
Did you, at times you must have thought.
No, well, this is my barrister said to me, Sarah, listen, always have a plan B. In business, in everything, in life, just have a plan B. And he's like, your plan B is go and look at another site. And I was like, I don't want to leave. But I started to look at other sites and actually found an amazing site. And I was like, this is actually great. And the foot traffic would actually be better, but it's going to cost me X amount of money to move. I'm going to upset my community. I'm going to disrupt their routines that they've got for essentially 10 years because I've had new fit out, everything like that. And I just went, hold on a second. But you know, inside of me the whole time, I just had this inner voice, my higher self constantly saying to me, stay in the fight, stay in the fight.
Were your lawyers and barristers reassuring, like, hey, like you?
So they
didn't say like, hey, we're going to win this? They
no.
Was they the
I
opposite?
don't think that they're supposed to say that. It's
No.
like psychics aren't supposed to tell you bad news. I actually don't think lawyers are supposed to be like, hey, everything's going to be okay. They were like, Sarah.
But at any point did they say like, hey, like they have a big bankroll, they're going to fucking drag this out? Like that site's nice?
Yeah, of course. They were like, you can go. That makes sense. And I said, no, let's fight. Like I can fight. I tell you, this girl from Wyong High, I'm a fighter. I'm like, if I need to really go all in.
So was it the
I will go all
was
in.
it the principal?
No, it wasn't the principal. Or maybe it was a part of the principal. And I'm not stubborn.
Bit of spite in there?
No, it was.
Powerful spite.
Actually, it was just about fairness and it was about my community. I just was like, how can I let these two men decide that you're no longer welcome here when I have a lease and I was here first? So I kind of was just a bit like, who do you think you are that you can move me and hundreds of people out of health and wellness and what makes their life so much greater every single day? Who do you think you are?
You know what this reminds me of? The castle. It's not a building, it's a home. This is my fucking home for my members.
It's true. That's what gyms are.
Great story.
Do you know how many times I get messages saying, you know, this gym has changed my life, and it would be for all group fitness gyms. This gym has changed my life. Like I've met all my friends. I can be having the worst day. I can be going through the worst time of my life. But I come here and I end up having
and
the best day. I've met new friends. It's given me a purpose. I stayed in the fight.
It's why we love it so much.
I'll be honest.
And it breaks our heart when people go down.
I don't think I would have gone down that route.
No, a lot of people don't. I was just speaking to a friend the other day and literally, it was my hairdresser. She said to me, one of her, they've got a hairdressing, they've got a couple of salons and their landlord literally just did the same thing. And I said, so they left? And she goes, yeah, they packed up and left. And I was like, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't have.
I would have been like, well, I think we can just go to that other place down the road.
Let's all put all the equipment in the back of the trucks.
Good on. I mean, that's a pretty incredible story.
Yeah, I'm very proud of
maybe
myself.
it was some of those earlier, like long CrossFit workouts. You're like, okay, I've learned how to suffer for a long,
I think it's the girl from Wyong High.
Cool. So after all that time of fighting with the lawyers, with the barristers, having people say that you're crazy, Mitch wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it
Well,
either.
no one knew. I didn't tell anyone.
Oh.
No one knew that I went through this.
You kept it all under wraps.
I kept it And I kept it, and I'm a Gemini. I love to talk and I love to share, but I didn't tell anyone. One of my team members knew, because sometimes I would come in and I'd end up bursting into tears in the back room. Like, we've been together for years, so he's like, totally fine with me bursting into tears. But he knew, my family knew, and that was really my closest friends. I didn't tell the community. So when I won, and the day I won in court, and I put up this post about, we just saved the community. Like, this is what I've just gone through in the last 18 months. When I went back into the gym, everyone was like, what the hell? What the hell?
GoFundMe would have helped from the gym members.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, you guys can buy me a cup of coffee, But,
wow.
Everyone was shocked that I had, even people that I'm close with that have been there for 10 years, that I've got such a great relationship. They're like, what? You would never have been able to tell. And I thought, are you sure?
Extreme detail. When you win a long-standing, nasty legal battle, does the judge say Sarah's right? Do you get a piece of paper? Does the lawyer call you? What happens?
Well, I burst into tears. Actually, you want to know the crazy part, which I really love? One of the landlords came in and gave me a hug, and he said, you should be so proud of yourself.
Oh.
I know, it still makes me tear. Nice. And he called me the next day. Yeah, he called me the next day on my mobile, and he's like, you should be so proud of yourself. He goes, you're inspiring for a woman.
And I was like, same
I started
landlords
crying
still there?
Same landlords, and hey, how you going? Like, everything's fine now.
Wow.
And
but in 8 years' time, you're
because
gone.
they said to me, Sarah, you were just protecting your business, and we were just protecting ours, and that's fair.
So did they want to knock it down and make apartments, or what was the?
No,
was the
we were
noise?
just noisy, and they just don't want the noise because it does affect their business, and I totally get that. But I'm sorry, it is business, and I had a 10 by 10.
Yeah, I'd be turning up the music, getting some metal plates.
We had issues with that. We were in a little suburban area, but I mean, nothing.
We had issues all the time.
I think gyms just always have issues.
There's early morning
parking
and councils would fucking hate them because they know they're going to be noisy. They know they're going to lie about parking applications.
Yeah.
We ruined a town's main street with our first location. We had 50 members coming, 50 members going.
Yeah.
It was
That's what I mean. We aren't the greatest neighbours.
You're from Newcastle. It was fucking Pitt Street in the middle of Curry.
Yeah.
It was madness.
We really aren't great neighbours if you think about it. We would be annoying.
Members do go buy coffees though.
Oh, yeah.
Good for coffee.
It's hardly worth it if they can't hear himself talk to another.
So since then, you've added some recovery onto your business, yeah? Which
yes,
I really
TC
want
recovery.
to dive into because I think it's a massive, massive trend. So I'm a member of Body Emotion Recovery. Josh, love you. I pay $35 a week and I get unlimited sauna, unlimited ice. It is a good price. Don't tell Josh. Okay. It is my
We're a little bit less than that.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's my favorite time of the week. And I'm 36. I train one day, recover next, and it's
important, huh?
my life, yeah.
I love the world that we live in now. There's so much more awareness and research that have gone into everything. And the messaging now, boys, we're from old school where it's you just train. Where now
after the beach come Woodport in the morning.
Yeah, it was all about just training really hard and just flogging your body. But now it's okay, you are going to benefit from taking a day off. Train really hard for 2 days and then take a day off. Implementing saunas and ice baths and going for walks and, Pilates and stretching and things like that is just really important now.
These, I wear a Whoop and the wearables are so prominent everywhere now.
Yeah.
Even for people who don't maybe work out that much. But just for your everyday person.
It's the sleep, right?
Yeah.
Sleeping is so important.
I think if you're a really dedicated member, I actually struggle to not train. I hate days I have to rest because I love the experience of having a pre-workout, getting in my car, listening to music.
Yeah.
And I get that with recovery still. And I just love that. And it's actually really helped me from not overtraining.
Yeah.
So I have a knee injury from AFL. I got a few aches and pains, a few chronic pains, and just I was killing myself in the gym just because I wanted to be there.
So question, do you have more people who use that who are members or the general public who come in? Who
it's actually funny. The boys, because they sublease from me.
Okay.
So, there's the 2 male owners, they sublease. Majority of their members are actually non-members of TC, of Total Conditioning. They're from the outside. And when I watch them, when I watch the people come through, it is like a broad range demographic age-wise, but it's still, you know, you can look at someone and go, they're a healthy person. You know, they
Really
value health and
really
fitness.
important question. Did you give those two boys a 10 by 10?
No.
Do they pay some of your 170K?
They'll be there as long as I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, but hopefully
They'll be in court with you.
Yeah, hopefully they evolve and, you know, because I've always subleased for the last 10 years. They've been in there for a year now, but or just short of a year, half a year.
Interesting with the sublease model because we have a lot of owners in our network and there'll be often conversations about it, but they're more thinking, okay, I want to go and buy some ice baths. I want to buy some saunas. I want to, you know, get an extra space or section off my gym and have this room for it.
I mean,
Whereas
look.
I quite like that yours would be so clean. It's like, okay, you pay me.
Can I tell you something?
And the ice baths that I go to, they get changed every fucking day. Like they are filthy.
The maintenance would be
I
crazy.
think, and this is just me and my own experience and, you know, of being a business owner for 15, 16 years, just focus on what primarily you make your money from. And that for me is weekly membership. That's my memberships, okay? And then all the rest. So if I was to open that myself, that is going to take how many hours out of my week or out of my day am I going to be focusing on something that's only going to be really bringing in this ROI is going to be very minimal. When I could be spending that amount of hours working on getting more bodies inside the gym and then my ROI is bigger.
The reason why I'm smiling, it's literally all we talk about. Focus on the main thing. And then if you are at capacity, by all means, grab an ice bath. But if you are at 60%,
what are you thinking? You're at 50% capacity and you're talking about going and putting in some ice baths and that for your members. How about you really just nail your programming and your coaches and the community events and workshops and things like that people love your gym for? Nail that and then do the add-ons.
The nature of owners or entrepreneurs is that they like new things. It's exciting. They might.
But that's a them problem.
But and again, I don't think it's the right way.
I'll tell you my
keep them
problem.
stuck.
So I remember it was 2020. We had our Cardiff location and I just come off an ACL reconstruction and I was really enjoying Normatec compression boots. Going to a physio, I was paying $20. They're like $2,000 to buy. I said, hey, Mitch, got a fucking idea. We should get a chair. We should get some headphones. We should get some compression boots. It's going to be amazing. So I am the fucking shiny object master and I have to remind myself every single day. I have a message on my fucking screen that says signal versus noise. Signal is what Jeff Bezos talks about. Focus on the signal.
Yeah, not the noise.
If it's not my main thing, it's noise.
Yeah.
It's been a really helpful frame because when we talked this year, like, Mitch, got this new idea. Noise. Like, sorry.
Yeah. I love that.
And like with a sublease, like I imagine
it's clean.
They would just, you'd invoice them each month or
it's clean.
It's an auto pay.
That's it.
And that's it.
They pay their rent. They pay their rent. I collect the rent, and it's an amazing benefit, you know, for the gym, you know, to be able to say we're not only a gym that does this, and this, and this, and this. We also have this schmick recovery space, like it's low lighting and it's brand new equipment, and they've just the boys have decked it out.
I used to always hate referring my members to other places because we cared so much about them, and I didn't think that care was at other places. So if you have someone you can actually refer to that you trust, it's an amazing benefit for you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thought that they have, which we've certainly had, is like, oh, I don't want to leave money on the table because it's like I could be making 2 times or 3 times or 5 times as much if I manage that all myself and had a staff member and I could do this. And then it's like there's a lot of ifs in there for starters, but then you doing all that, how does that affect your other thing? And most of the time it just ends up leveling it out, but then you've got 2 businesses effectively.
Yeah.
So anything that you can do where it is low leverage or high leverage but low complexity, it just makes life a lot easier. And it wouldn't eat up any of your time.
Yeah.
Well,
you just
Sarah,
collect that money and move on.
I'm really sorry, but we've run late. I've enjoyed this chat so much. We were going to talk about
crazy.
manifestation
That's
and mindset, but we just derailed it with the high rock slander, which I didn't know.
Slander.
Well, not really slender. I love high rocks. I'm going to do it this year. Like, you know.
You'll do it once though because it's a fad.
No, well, I mean, as long as it'll last, because, you know, one of my core values for the gym industry, for the gym business is like fun. It's one of my 3 values. And high rocks is fun. So I'm all for it. I love it. And a lot of my members, they just went to Melbourne and they came second and they're killing it.
And we're going to absolutely get you back.
Sorry, I was just going to say quick. So I think the one thing it does do really well is it has an event. in-person event.
Yes.
You go to Perth, Melbourne,
And
Sydney,
remember, that's what
which is
CrossFit
fun.
was. Remember that? We used to
The
go to Wollongong.
regionals and-
Yeah. It just changed.
We
but
work with
that's fun.
Scott, who owns the Down Under Championships, CrossFit SFS.
Oh, yes.
Legend of a guy,
Yes.
great gym, and he loves the events. So
Yeah, he hosts.
point is, we're going to get you back because I want to talk about mindset,
Thank you.
manifestation, but what I really want to talk about is potentially adding a personal brand and online component to your gym. But Sarah, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Great.
Oh my gosh,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having me. Pleasure.
Cool.